Hey guys, L.I.P.S here. As you can see from the title, we're going to review another album today. We are going to review Jasmine's debut album, Gold. As always with my videos, this review was requested. It was requested by the YouTube users Hikipedia and Peter Simon. So thank you guys very much for requesting this album, and I do hope, based off this review, I do hope that most of my opinions here will be opinions you guys can appreciate or agree with. I'll admit I didn't always used to know who Jasmine was, but when I was introduced to her, I was immediately hooked because of her distant style when it came to R&B. It was one of the many reasons why I started to pay attention to her, and I'm glad I got this album because this album didn't let me down in the slightest. So without further ado, let's hear my thoughts on Jasmine's album, Gold. The first track is Pride. It begins slowly with this lingering piano before exploding into this fierce melody that's very fast-paced and very piano-driven, yet it still retains that signature R&B style that Jasmine is known for. This was a perfect way to open up this album because it really does provide a good taste of what we can expect for this album. Overall, I did enjoy this. It was really creative to me, and I definitely did enjoy it. The next song is Sad to Say. This was Jasmine's debut single, and from hearing this, I can see why this is her most successful ballad. The arrangement to this is very elegant with this gorgeous piano melody that structures with the sound perfectly. Her vocals are quite aggressive within this tune, yet I don't really mind that because based off the lyrics, I can see why. I like how there's so much emotion within her voice because I feel that is the reason why many people can relate to this song because there's so much sorrow within it. And this song also taught me that Jasmine is a serious potty mouth. During this song, she says the F word a lot in this song, which I don't really mind because I curse too sometimes, so I can't really condemn her for that. Like, the verse is in Japanese that she says, but it translates into, I tore my memories apart, and they can eat shit for all I care, and that made me laugh. When I first heard that made me die of laughter because it's just, that's a really relatable line I can relate to because I have said that at one point. Overall, this was a gorgeous song that did highlight Jasmine's utter best in her music. The next track is L.I.P.S. Love this song. First thing I should say about this tune is that I really like how she adds these electronic elements within this because that's what definitely makes it stand out to me. This probably has to be her most engaging songs because I like how she compares boys to her favorite foods and candies. Like, I don't know, that just made it really funny to me. And like I said before, this song is very electronic instrumental-wise because she uses these synchronized beats that overemphasize her direction of sound. This is a ridiculously charming tune that never fails to amuse me. Her vocals are quite flirty with this, and that's what made it really swangy to me, and I was like, ooh, I just can't help but groove to this every time I hear it, because I really like how her vocals sound, like I said before, because they overemphasize the sexuality in a sense. And that section where she starts to spell out her name right here was just pure awesome. Like, I can't, oh my goodness. Overall, this was another solid tune that definitely showed off Jasmine's fierce side, and I really enjoyed that. Do you want my lips? Should I shake my hips? I want you to kiss my L.I.P.S. Oh my goodness. The next song is Jealous. She returns back to her R&B style with this song, and I must say that the result to this is hot. Even though the style of this is clearly R&B, this song, I will say, isn't as aggressive as some of the other tracks I've heard on this album. Despite that, it has a gorgeous arrangement that has some amazing strings that were added onto here that really sets it beautifully apart from the other songs I've heard. I wouldn't consider this to be a dance track, yet it does head into this more R&B pop electronica side of Jasmine, and the chorus of this is absolutely fantastic since it has this laid-backish feel to it that really makes it sound more soulful than anything else. I really did enjoy listening to this very much because it again displays Jasmine's awesome aroma, and I really did like that. The next song is Bad Girl. Based off of this title, I was assuming that this was going to be a sexy song. I really did. So you guys can imagine how baffled I was when it started off with this lingering piano. Yet that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it because this song was very interesting if I had to find the right words to describe it. I love how calm she sounds when the verses right here, and then it just builds and builds before exploding into this distinctive rock-filled chorus that strangely gets more addictive every time I hear it. One thing I can say about this track too is that I really like the lyrics to this song, because despite how dark they are, They're quite encouraging, and I can definitely relate to them. Everything about this tune was perfect because everything comes together amazingly well, and that's one thing I can salute to Jasmine for. The next song is Dear My Friend. Adorable. And the reason why I said that word is because that's the word I would say if I had to describe this song in one word. I can't even describe my love for this in simple words because the aroma around it is utterly sweet and very soothing to listen to. Her vocals are perfect within this because they definitely set this delicious mood that I can't help but smile to. And I love the sweetness that she inflicts within this. And that's what makes it so cute to me. And I don't know about you guys, but I found this song quite relieving to me, since it's a song about friendship for a change. Not that relationship songs are important, I'm not saying that at all. But it's just nice to hear something different for a change within a song. Overall, this is another one of my favorite songs for this album. This was quite an interesting interlude. Oh my goodness. This interlude mostly consisted of wildlife noises along with these lion-like growls. And I don't know about you guys, but this was actually a pretty scary interlude. It scared the crap out of me when I first heard it. Jasmine sounds hella fierce though, so I definitely enjoyed that, even though the growls of the song really scared the heck out of me. The next song is This Is Not a Game. This has to be one of my most favorite songs off of this album. I just love how it has this certain darkness to it that makes it heavenly alluring to me. We also get a chance to hear these heavy electronic elements that really add to the dark atmosphere that this song truly has. She sings this with a lot of attitude, and that's what makes it more intense and more emotional driven. The chorus here has to be my most favorite part of this song, since it shows a different side that goes amazingly well with her fierce persona. This is not a game. I really did like this because it was another great addition to this album. It definitely shows the side of Jasmine I really like so far. The next song is Clubbin. I have mixed feelings about this song. One good thing I can say about this song is that I love how she accompanies this tune with these edgy vocals right here, because that itself is what definitely caught my attention about this song. So I can't lie, that part of it did interest me there. And the repetition of this chorus right here was really good too. So crazy, so crazy. I literally liked how she repeated the same thing, because it added like something really fun and really something you can go to the club to. Yet, if I had to be honest with you guys, I really don't find this to be a good song at all. I mean, while there are some good points about it, it mostly consists of sounds that are really off to me, that doesn't really sound really pleasant to the ears. So this probably would have to be my least favorite song off this album. But it's not completely bad because I can't listen to it from time to time, so overall, it's just a skippable track, so. The next track is Koi, which translates into love. This is Jasmine. I really like the direction she went into with this track. The beats within this are soft and smooth, since they mostly consist of these strong R&B pulsations, and that's what makes it so addictive to me. She's singing this in such a confident manner that I can't help but appreciate the simple aroma that it inflicts. And the chorus itself is really nice on the ears. I really like the memorable, catchy lines that she used, because that's what makes it really great to jam to. Overall, I found this quite enjoyable because it contains this great energy that won't be leaving your head anytime soon. The next track is What You Want. The album starts to slow down a bit with this down-tempo track, and although this isn't my favorite song off the album, I definitely enjoyed this mellowish tune to it, since it greatly consists with these elements that say very fitting to Jasmine's overall persona. She sounds quite beautiful here, and her vocals go perfectly alongside the backing vocalists that were evident within this tune. As you guys can hear, I really like this slow approach that she used within this tune, because it definitely falls into this vibe that has one gradually falling into it, and that's what makes it very soothing to listen to. I can listen to this while maybe like reading a book or doing my homework or something, or studying my Japanese. I can find myself listening to this because it has this like I said, it has like this really soothing approach to it, and that's what I really like about this tune. So it isn't my favorite track, but it definitely is loved. The next track is No More. This was another ballad on the album that designated my attention. The utter emotion that she pours within this song is just fantastic, and we haven't even got to the actual song yet. No more cry. I love that part. Like I said before, she sounds really emotional within this, and that's what clearly highlighted my love for her in this song. Although I do love this song, I will admit it does sound a little sad to say because of its similar structure, yet I don't really mind that because the overall emotion of it just melts my heart every time I listen to it. The next song is Dreamin. It seems Jasmine took quite an interesting route for this song because this song, it utterly abandons the R&B approach in favor for a more gospel-inspired sound. Although it's quite stripped of its R&B sound, this is without a doubt her most strongest vocal performance on this album because she puts so much passion and soul into her voice. I also took pleasure in the fact that this isn't your average ballad, and I definitely appreciated its more gospel approach here. This really was a wondrous ballad that was filled with energy, emotion, and beauty. The next track is Why. We finally reached the end of this album, and what better way than to close it with this dazzling R&B feel to it. I really like this tune because I definitely like the Western influence that incorporates this tune because it does sound different from all the other R&B tracks that she started with this album. Like the track What You Want, this track definitely carries a more soothing vibe to it since you can hear it implanting within the verses here and along with the music itself. Although it isn't my favorite song on this album, it definitely does induce my interest, so that's one good thing I can say about this here. As always, her vocal performance is utterly fantastic here. I can never really say anything bad about her vocals, and the notes that she hits within this bridge right here are insane. Just listen to this. Oh my gosh. I didn't know that she was fully capable of hitting such notes. Yet when hearing that, it was like I said, it was a nice surprise that I utterly enjoyed there. Like I said before, this isn't my favorite tune, but it definitely has solids, and that's what definitely made it a solid tune that definitely finished off this album very well. Hey, to any future singers out there, you see this right here? You see this here? This is how you make a debut album. This is how you do it. On serious matter now, this was definitely a very good album. Jasmine she created a more distinctive sound that's definitely worthy of praise. The beats were infectious, the melodies were dazzling, and the notes she hits within this album are sometimes jaw-dropping. I will admit this album was much more harder hitting within the concept of R&B than her sophomore album, yet that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. So here's the album art. To be honest with you guys, I really did like that because that definitely really was a pretty picture of her, and it definitely does fit with the concepts of the album theme quite well. And then here's the back, her boobies, little jewel boobies, but it's the same thing. Here is the inside, and that was definitely pretty too. And the CD. Here is the OB. Not sure if that does anything, but I like to show it anyway. And now I'll show you the album art. That was definitely beautiful. I really like that too. I really like that wig she's wearing. It's really nice. I can't really say I enjoyed that picture all that much. Well, you know, scratch that. I did like this. I just don't really like the gold mask on her face because she looks a little scary, if I had to be honest with you guys. But it's still a nice picture nonetheless, though. Here are the credits and Jasmine's logo. And that was it for the album art. Personally, in my opinion, Gold was definitely a perfect title for this record because it definitely highlighted the true power of Jasmine's talent. I would definitely recommend her to anyone because her music's really distinctive and fun, and that's one of the many qualities about it that I really enjoy about her music. So that was my review for this album. I do hope the YouTube users who requested this album, Wikipedia and Peter Simon, I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say on this album, and thank you guys once again for requesting this album because you guys definitely showed me that this overall is definitely her more strongest material here, and you guys definitely have shown me that she's definitely an artist that's a force to be reckoned with. As always with my videos, the next review that's going to come up is going to be another request, and so like I always say, if anyone has an artist who they would like me to review, just leave it in the comments below and I'll be sure to get to it in the future. So until next time, you guys. Bye!